Oh no, it's time to clean the saw. This is Kate from Katie Did Rocks, and I am going to teach you today how to clean a rock saw. It's a disgusting job, but very necessary. My first chore is to put the rocks that have accumulated in this little side pocket here into the absorber, the oil absorber. Now, this is a mess. I don't suggest that this is how you should keep your saw, but this is how this one ended up. I got busy, I didn't put things away, and now it's a mess. So the first thing is to just empty out the tray, make sure that there's no rocks left. It's kind of fun though, because then you can see what you've been cutting. All right, stop that now. Clean out the rocks. This is an oil absorber, and I can't remember what it's called, but it coats the rocks and it absorbs the oil so that you can wash them off and they're nice and clean. We're gonna need a roll of paper towels for this one. This little saw is my Highland Park Precision 12-inch lapidary saw, and I absolutely love it. But it does get dirty pretty fast because there's not very much oil in it, and so it has to be cleaned, I find, a little bit more often than my bigger saws. Always be sure to unplug when you're working. All right, I've got a garbage can right nearby, and I'm just starting to wipe out some of this extra oil that has accumulated. Now, I usually keep a paper towel underneath here, and that makes this job a lot easier. But for some reason, I didn't do it this time. Okay, so once you have it mostly clean, you can wipe down some of the other stuff. We're gonna do a deep cleaning once all the oil gets out of it, but this is just gonna help you make it so that you don't have to kind of work around the oil. Yuck. You can see here a really good reason to keep your saws clean. This is a really nice roller bearing kind of travel bar, but if it gets little bits and pieces of rock on it, then it becomes a little less smooth and just not as good to use. So keeping your saw clean, you don't have to keep it, pristine, but keeping your saw clean is a really good idea.
But when it's upside down, that whole righty-tighty, lefty-loosey thing is
I was turning
a whole
it
other
the
story.
wrong way, all right.
Okay. Well, you
Stop
got it nice and tight, I'll tell you that much.
Okay, now that we've got that straightened out, I was trying to tighten it because this is upside down. You want to get it lined up over your bucket or your container. This is actually an oil container that is empty. This is actually an oil container that's empty, and this part can be kind of messy. It's probably better to use a funnel or a big bucket, but I like to live dangerously. Make sure you get the hole lined up underneath the spout here. And what we're gonna do is just let it rip. Ooh, the anticipation. I can't wait. This is a lot of, oh shoot.
Did you know you can get 10% off supplies in rough rock, including oil, at Highland Park Lapidary by using the affiliate code Katie Did Rocks?
Well, I guess that's maybe how not to do that. Sorry, folks. I usually have a funnel or something to make that work, and it just came out a lot faster than I expected.
I think we may need to put a ball valve on here so this never happens again.
This is why I have it on concrete. This is what I use to soak up the oil for rocks. It's actually just a garage absorber, and guess what? We're going to use it to soak up the oil on the concrete as well. What a good tutorial. Okay, so you can see we have a lot of muck down in the bottom of the saw. And this is actually just rock dust that's accumulated from cutting. And it's mixed with oil, so it's kind of nasty and sludgy and muddy. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this big bucket away, and I'm going to put a more wide open container and scrape the sludge into it. Then I'll let the sludge sit and the oil will separate. Okay, so you can see I've got just a pitcher underneath now that is well used for this kind of stuff. And I have here just an ordinary shower squeegee, and Jordan up at Highland Park Lapidary uses this to clean her saws, and she is the queen of clean, so I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. And actually it works just amazingly, so let's give it a try. Okay, so we have emptied the little pitcher of all of the loose and kind of just dirty oil. Now what we're doing is scraping it. And anybody who has done this and is like really, really expert at this is probably rolling their eyes and saying, man, you're a slob. Rolling their eyes and saying, oh, you are just not doing it perfectly. And that's very true. And it's a dirty job, but I'm going to make the best of it. All right, so you can see I've moved the carriage rail back, and we still have quite a lot of sludge in the bottom of the container, but I can get at it better now if the little sled is in the back of it. So now we have a relatively clean basin here. I'm going to go all out and wipe down the whole inside and get everything nice and clean, just because it makes it easier to wait a little bit longer. If I've got to do this anyway, I'm going to get it clean, and then it'll take a little bit less time. And then it'll take a little bit more time before I have to do it again. So let's wipe it down with some paper towels. I would imagine that there are a lot of old rockhounds or lapidarists out there who are just kind of laughing at this step, because honestly, it's just going to get dirty again. And so making it, sparkling clean is a little bit of overkill. But since I have it apart, I figure, why not? One thing to be sure to do, and it's a little hard to film here, there is a space between the wheel and the wall and the floor. And that's where a lot of the muck tends to collect. So be sure to get it nice and clean all the way underneath there, because you don't want any kind of sand or gravel collecting on your saw blade. If you're wondering why I'm not wearing gloves, you certainly can wear gloves. It's not going to hurt anything. But this is just mineral oil. It's lapidary grade mineral oil. It's very, very thin. And it's not at all toxic. It's actually kind of good for your skin. So I'm not going to worry too much about trying to glove up. While you're wiping out the rest of the saw, don't forget to do the vise. This, you can see, kind of accumulates little rocks and chips and stuff, and that'll keep your saw from operating cleanly and safely, and so make sure you don't forget to clean that part. This is the cutoff chain, and it also gets kind of messy. Just go ahead and wipe it off. Once I get the gunk out, then I go in with a clean paper towel for kind of a final wipe down. It's like, if you've already got it almost spotless, you might as well make it really clean. The first time I ever did this was with my dad's saw. It's an old 1972 Phantom, and he built it from a kit when I was a child, and he had never cleaned it. So it had 50 years worth of sludge built up and hardened in the bottom of the case. So I spent an entire day with some Goo Gone and a lot of paper towels and a whole lot of elbow grease. I needed to get it clean enough that I could take it apart and put it in Jim's trunk, and he loves his car, so I didn't want to get oil all over it. This isn't completely full of paper towels, but it gives you an idea of kind of what it's going to look like. Here we have the yucky muck. We'll just let that sit. Okay, since we have this apart, it's a good opportunity to show you a few of the pieces. This is the sled and the vise, and this is what moves the rock back and forth. You can see here there's a a worm gear that turns around and around, and it pulls the rock down very slowly along these rods. These rods have ball bearings, so that it's really, really, really smooth, and the blade itself cuts very smooth as well. This saw is actually designed for agate specimens, for cutting specimens out of agates or other kinds of specimen type rocks. I use it for slabs as well because it's just really handy. This is how you adjust the vise. Again, I think this is a really easy way to do it. I have some vices on other saws that are a little bit different than this, and I find this one is just a lot easier. And this is how you adjust it side to side. Oops, I don't have it locked down yet. This is how you adjust it so that it goes in and out. So, pretty easy. Let's put some oil in it and cut something. I didn't measure the oil, although I think it's probably a couple gallons, but you want it to cover about between 1/4 and 1/2 inch on the bottom of the blade. This is a condor agate from Argentina, and there's really no obvious way that the bands are going in here, so it's going to have to be kind of a by guess and by golly. I don't want to cut through this lump, and it does look like maybe there's some bands starting this way, so I think we'll cut it kind of in half here. See what we get. Once you put it in the vise, then you want to get it nice and tight. Wiggle it a little bit to make it sure that it's not going to fall out of the saw. It actually seems to, when you wiggle it, it loosens it enough that you can turn the vise a little bit more. And then you want to line up where you want it cut with the edge of the rock. This is going to go over this way a little bit, so we can cut it basically in half. Just now I'm setting the trip chain. This causes the saw to turn off after the rock reaches a certain point. It's basically just a little pull. And now we need to bring this rock back, move the sled this way, and we'll get started cutting. Okay, I used both hands to tighten this lever. This rock is solid in here. Can't turn the lever in. Whoops, I turned it the wrong way. Really can't turn the lever anymore. We're ready to go. All right, let's see where we go. That is just lovely. Guess we guessed okay. That's a pretty nice cut for the first off of the saw after it got clean. So there you have it, how to clean a rock saw, and also what not to do. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. I am a Highland Park Lapidary affiliate, and if you'd like to use my affiliate code on any of these machines, just put Katie Did Rocks, and I will get a bonus from Highland Park Lapidary. You can also get 10% off of supplies and rough rocks simply by putting Katie Did Rocks into your order. It costs you nothing, and it gives me a little bonus. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming along. This is Kate from Katie Did. Keep on doing.